What's up, buddy? Good morning. You are muted. Hey there, little one. You're still muted, Ryan. There we go.
It took you that long to tell me that I was muted?
No, I told you as soon as she walked in, but I think you were distracted.
Oh, yeah, possibly. No, I was saying that I was here and I was contemplating. I felt like I had to. Oh, she's trying to touch you down. You got him. You got him. Good job. Yeah, I thought I had to do. There was some guy that was like, I think I have to do something right now. Look at his fireworks. He's got fireworks happening over there. He's magic. Did you know? We call him Magic Dom. He has a hood on like a wizard, and he's just got special powers. Do you want to ask him to make hearts? Say, can you make hearts?
Well,
Oh, he made hearts. That's pretty cool.
I was thinking, like, into a flush. Hey, why did you do that?
Oh, Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift.
And I saw this outfit, what her was wearing, and her shoes. And I want to have that outfit and her shoes.
You want Taylor Swift's outfit and her shoes?
Nice.
Yeah. That was so proud.
She got up and she likes Taylor Swift, but she was like, I want to watch. What did you say? How do you say Taylor Swift?
Taylor Flesh.
Taylor Swift. I could not tell what she was saying, and then I had to get Lauren to help me out. So
sometimes it's hard. It's hard. we still have that trouble with Bentley right now, but he's gotten worlds better.
It's one of those I don't want to. You don't want to change it too quickly. You're like, it's okay.
It's so adorable.
Yeah,
like it's so cute.
We're gonna shake.
It's almost like having a special language with your children that like most people can't understand.
Yeah, totally.
The bad girls.
The microphone. That's good. That's really good.
She's having too much fun.
She is.
She's like, so Dad just has fun in his room all the time.
It's just how it goes, kiddo. We just have a good time. Dom is actually where you're watching Taylor Swift right now on TV. He's by the SoFi Stadium.
Oh yeah, they're watching the concert.
Just DM Sloan. Sloan took off. She got up this morning. She knows that her friends. You know what? Living in a building, I think, has like really great benefits here.
Is it bad girl?
I think it definitely has its benefits. She will get up though, and she's like, "Okay, I can just go downstairs and see my friends."
That's really awesome. How many other like apartments or units are in the building like that she can access?
There's like 40 units or so.
Okay. And is there a good amount of kids?
Yeah. Everybody. Yeah, there's no like non-family in here.
The bad girl.
Yeah. Nice. Say hi to Jason. Say hi to Uncle Jason, and then I want you to go see Taylor Swift. Okay. Say hi, Uncle Jason.
Hi, Jason.
Morning, Dee Dee. How are you?
All right.
Did you hear me?
Go watch Taylor Swift, and I'll be right there. We can play Piggy.
Cool. Good morning, Jason.
Is it bad girl?
Oh, she's funny.
Just like a drug.
Jason, how was your week of school? Now that it's Saturday.
My week of school was really good. It was a nice week.
So are you over the hump of like getting back and getting settled in and get the kids settled in and all that stuff?
Yes. I would say this is probably been one of the smoother transitions from break.
Oh, nice.
Maybe ever.
Are you saying you or the kids or just the combination of the whole thing?
I would say both.
Yeah.
I think I might have planned it a little bit better. I also have a really great collection of group of kids, which I'm really enjoying.
Nice.
It was a nice solid week, and I'm thankful for that. And thank you for asking. How was your week?
My week was good because it was basically my first solid week. I did have to adjust my schedule a little bit to make it home for a basketball game. Bailey was cheerleading that. So that threw me off a little bit, but it was still overall a solid week. And then I got another referral yesterday for some work. So that's always good to see those coming in. Because I just turned a job down on Monday.
Is that
It was just going to be too much for me.
is the referral in addition to a few days ago you said you got a job that kind of takes care of the year as far as regular
Yeah, the
income?
referral. Well, the referral is not anything guaranteed, but it's at least the chance to bid an opportunity.
Mhm.
But yes, that would be in addition to the big one. And it might be a little too much for me, but the lady is a friend of one of my current clients. Like I seem to like my current clients that I'm working with, they seem to have like quite the network of friends because they've now sent me like 3 or 4 referrals. So I don't want to not take the opportunity, even if I have to like hire someone to help.
Yeah. So with all the with all the fires and stuff, obviously
Yeah.
terrible. What does that look like for you in the future? Like, does that mean that like you will be basically flush with like reconstruction jobs?
Um,
Or
I see. I don't think so, but it's one of those you never know because it's not something that I feel like has ever happened in my career, like to this magnitude. Um, like the community that we work in is a community that like builds and rebuilds quite often. Like even during the 2008 recession, um, they didn't necessarily stop. Like even during COVID, like they didn't necessarily stop. Um, COVID hit us like a year or two later, where like material chains like really were messed up.
Mhm.
And with the fires, like most of our thought process is like the rebuild of that town and that neighborhood is going to be more um what's the word I'm looking for, infrastructure, like government, schools, roads, power lines, utilities, like all of that stuff first, and then it'll trickle into like low income housing or tract homes or something, and then I think it'll the custom home market will be one of the last things. So I don't think it's going to be like a hit anytime soon that'll affect me and my clients and my guys, but I think eventually it'll come to us.
Mhm.
And my only other point is like it's a little further than I would want to be. So, and I know a lot of my team members feel the same way. So I think there's a good chance that we'll still stay where we are, but we may have labor and material issues.
Gotcha. So storm before the
Yeah, it's
yeah.
something to keep in mind and look at, but I think it'll be okay. But I'm very optimistic too. So, good morning,
Good.
Blaze.
Hey, what's up,
Morning,
guys?
Blaze.
You guys
Hey,
hear me?
Dom, I have a question with your clients. A little bit of a bridge here. When you're working with them, are your clients very picky or are they particular?
Oh, this one was a strange one for me. Like picky
Yeah,
versus
hold on. I just want to
particular.
say yes, me too. I was like, I'm not connecting with the message they're trying to give right now, but I was like, okay, we'll get there.
Yeah, it might be a good thing for us as parents to think about a little harder, um, because I use the word picky a lot, and maybe that's maybe that's what makes it feel so negative, like with the things that the kids are doing that cause me to say that they're picky.
Hmm.
Maybe particular is a better reframe to like, just understand, because I was that way when I was a kid too. So like I always give them grace and it's mostly food. There are other things too. Like my oldest daughter, she really doesn't like to get wet. Like she's very like if she has to wash her hands, that's it. But like any other water on her.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I don't know. It's a good thought to go through, but I don't think I've gotten far enough into it and formed it enough to really find the difference. So I'm interested to see what
Yeah.
you and everyone else thinks about this reading today.
I definitely want to talk about the particular picky thing, and then I know we put off a question from yesterday, so I want to bring that up just after we're done here, guys. Any thoughts on particular picky versus particular? I've said before that I am particular but less picky, but I feel like my 8-year-old is picky but less particular.
What would
Such
your
an-
wife
What do you
say
guys
about
think?
you?
What's that?
What would your wife say about you?
I don't know. I don't want to ask her right now.
Do you have an hour?
Oh man. I think that when I think of being particular, it means being unflexible. And I always think people need to be more flexible. So now I'm thinking, because I think being particular can be synonymous with picky to a certain extent. So now I'm thinking, do I need to redefine what particular means versus picky, and like just something for me to think on a little bit.
I would say particular might mean a heavy preference for something.
Yeah.
Picky means like unwavering. Um, I would say if you were to ask Kristen, I'm very particular, maybe even picky about my clothing.
Morning, Billy.
There's very few things that I'm picky or particular about. My clothes are one of them. And I don't know what it is. I don't know. Maybe it's the fit or the style. Like I don't enjoy clothes with like gigantic logos, except if it's like a band shirt of a friend of mine. Muted colors, demure, low key.
Well, the V Friends universe is full of logos. So, but
Well,
my V friend shirt is really the only shirt that I wear proudly.
You the V Dad shirt. I still have one of your V Friend shirts. I have to send you. I was thinking, because Blaze, when you were saying, what did you say about maybe redefining it, whatever? How I thought about it was that picky feels very reactive to me, where particular feels like it's more of a lifestyle decision, and it's a longer term, like a very what's what I'm thinking of, an ingrained way of choosing and moving through each day, each week, each month. Like that person's very particular with how they end up doing things, or like that person's being picky. I feel like it's like there's a difference between both. That's just how I end up breaking it up. But how they use it today in the reading, that was like it was more of a political type of move. It was saying, be particular with what you say because you want it to be factual. So particular was being careful with your words, where picky was being something that felt like it was more immature, and that's how the reading made me feel.
Cusp or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, like
Yeah.
in the moment.
So I don't know. I didn't get a ton from the reading. I felt like I was being berated by someone's mother in this reading, so I was like, I'm over this. I don't know.
Looking at it from like a different perspective, and this is something that I struggle with. I'm curious, like, does being particular mean like red versus blue? You know what? I'm more particular to red than blue, and then being able to speak to it. Because I think that's one thing that I'm working on developing that I just haven't really had to exercise that much. And I wish I would have been challenged more, is like, I don't like debating. Like, if you want to sit here and tell me that like pepperoni and anchovy pizza is the best pizza in the world, Like, I don't want to spend more than 30 seconds being like, that's trash. But I think that maybe that hasn't served me very well, because, and I'm always the type of person that's like, the biggest advocate for you is yourself. And if you can't speak to that well and speak to why you're particular on something, then I think that I think it's an important skill to learn. But I don't like debating with people. So maybe if I was more particular and rooted in my particularities or whatever, I could do that better.
Maybe Blaze, I like the way you said that. Maybe picky is what particular looks like without any justification. Like if somebody can explain why they're being picky about something, you know, without like complaining. I don't know.
Because I think about all the
maybe we call that particular.
Yeah, because I mean, everything's like politically charged right now because there was just an election and there's inauguration this week, and there's a lot of things I agree with. There's a lot of things I don't agree with, and like I wish I could like voice myself more, but I'm always like, I see how like upset some people get about certain topics, and I'm like, I don't want to bring up negative energy for me. I don't want to bring up negative energy for you. But then I think about like, that's how change happens, is through having those kind of like discussions and debates. But at the end of the day, pineapple tastes great on pizza. So
I asked that question to my students the other day,
mm-hmm.
and pineapple was by far the least popular ingredient. I asked them what their least favorite pizza topping was. Pineapple.
I think it's something where I think too many people comment on pineapple on pizza without ever actually having tried pineapple on pizza. And so I think people need to be able to let us know first, are you commenting from experience or are you commenting from opinion? That's my take on it, because your mouth is set up to taste salty sweet. So technically, like, and this is also, Blaze, what you just said before, like, look, pineapple ham, I mean, that's salty sweet right there, right, Paul? Am I going to go out of my way to order it? Probably not. Am I going to accept it if it's put in front of me? Yeah. But this is like, Blaze, what you were saying about like not wanting to argue. Sometimes, and I think tying this into like how our kids see us doing this, like especially like when I'm with my in-laws, I'll end up arguing certain points, but I'm not arguing because I need you to accept my opinion. I want to argue because what you just said is factually incorrect. And I don't want to talk you into believing what I think. I want to correct what you just said. Like what you said is factually incorrect. So I'm not being picky. I'm being particular in the fact that we have kids listening. What you just said is not true. And so I'm now going to share those facts with you. And I don't care whether you want to accept it in your lifestyle or not. I'm just going to let you know that what you just said is not correct. That's my feeling. And then I think I get the picky label and then I get the particular label. And I'm like, I'm not being like, you're the one lying. Like, I don't understand why I'm getting razzed on right now. Like, that's my biggest thing, because I will argue points like that. But again, I don't care if that's your thought. Like, you feel the way you do. No one should change the way you feel, but don't say an incorrect statement. And if the incorrect statement is coming off of something that you heard from someone else, then let's be honest with that. But don't base off, don't take these beliefs and these thoughts and start to, bend the truth to make people think that what you're saying is true. Like, it's just, that's like my thing. I don't know. A hard time with it.
Well, now I see you at the dining room table at your in-laws or wherever. Those are not macros. Those are micros, not macros. Gosh. And then just flipping the table.
What you just said is not far off from something that almost happened. No, it was because someone in the family had done an amazing job of losing weight. Great job. Congratulations. Stand up. I'm going to applaud you. But the way that they told us they did it, I don't care how you did it. You did it. Great. Congratulations. But what you're saying that you did for keto, you did not do keto. Like, the words you're saying is not a ketogenic diet. So stop saying that word. So now it looks like, and so, but the thing is, like, I said this, and like it looked like I tore someone's soul out. Be like, well, I did this, and I'm like, congratulations. I'm just saying what you said was wrong. It was not good. I felt really bad that day. But don't be factually incorrect. And also, this is the thing. Don't be so confident if you don't know what you're saying is right. That's what I have a hard time with.
Especially around Ryan.
Is this particular or is this picky?
I already gave you another word. It's passionate. It's on your chest.
And it's kind of what your daily life is. It's like, this is your.
Yeah.
I mean, I would consider you maybe somebody at the very least to know what keto means.
It happened. I was gonna say, it happens to me when people come up to me and they go, "Hey, I want to remodel my bathroom. It's really easy, right? Like I could just do it in like a week, and it costs like $2,000." And I'm like, no. So that's when it comes out of me. Like my wife kind of does that every now and then. She's like, "But it should be so easy, shouldn't it?" And I'm like, "Oh, honey, I'm sure it happens with Jason. If someone comes up to him with some sort of art critique or says, 'Oh, that painting probably took you like an hour, right? Like it looks good, but like that was just fun, wasn't it?' And you're like, 'No, kind of spent a couple weeks on it, maybe even months.'"
Yeah, that would be a perfect example of when somebody asks, "Hey, can you just do this for me?" I'm like, I could just do this. I would say a good example of that is when I get into a talk of teaching and being an art teacher specifically. Usually the response to that is, "Oh, that must be fun." And it's really hard for me to not launch into a diatribe of teaching comes before content, and you gotta love students, and you have to love teaching before you get into what it is you want to teach. I've only gone into that once or twice.
Please, does that come in with like the nursing world?
Oh yeah, because the largest workforce in any hospital is the nurses, and so I constantly feel in the hospital, if there's a job that's not getting done, who does it fall on? The nurse. Oh, who didn't do this calorie count? Oh, who didn't put this Foley catheter in? Or who didn't fill out this paperwork? Why'd you let this patient leave? Why aren't they ready? And I think that it's just really unfortunate, because if your role encompasses everything, then you don't have a role. You're expected to do everything, and that's not realistic. And then like in the academia world, it's really tough. And it just not so much at my place, but I know at other places, it's like you get assigned to a class, but the whole world's still short staffed. So like people are constantly getting asked to fill in other places. And I could see how that could be like very frustrating, because it's like, I'm trying to focus and do my job. And now you're asking me to do someone else's. Like, what am I doing here? Again, not at my place, but I hear that at other places.
I feel like it's one of those two. It's like, if you ask me to do all this, then please give me the respect I deserve. I don't know. I think nurses, and from my side, especially in the hospital, I went to the nurses for all the questions and all the answers. I would hardly ever go to the doctor. Doctors never had time. They didn't ever seem to care, and they were wrong half the time. So that was never something I was like, I'm going to go back to the doctors here. So I don't know. Can I take a hard pivot? I wanted to see, because we had a question yesterday. Our buddy Billy, I'm gonna sacrifice myself over here if that's gonna be okay. But for a community question, I was curious. Billy was really curious. Billy had reached out. He's like, I just wanted to know what you guys thought about this. So I'm gonna share it. Let me put it over here really quickly so we can all see it, and then I will read it as well. It's a little bit of a longer one. That's all good though.
The chat
might cover us up.
Dead this morning. Where are you guys at? Say hello.
We're tired right now. I'm tired right now. All right. I can't really put it up. I'm going to have to read it, though.
Just read it.
Don't whisper like that to me, like you're judging.
I can't wait for it.
Stop being so particular. Doc.
All right. All right. Here is the question. ASMR. I like this. All right. I was out shopping the other day, and I overheard a little boy between the ages of 7 and 9 ask his father why his uncle was so fat. And it appeared that the person he was asking about was also right next to him. And I assumed that it had to have been his uncle because he looked extremely upset once he said that aloud in front of him.
No.
So my question is, as a father, how would you respond in that moment if that was your son and or your daughter?
Ooh.
Yeah, I've been there. I feel that situation. I don't remember what I said. There's that initial flash of uncomfortability. I might rephrase the question, maybe.
No, that was the question.
No, not rephrasing your question. Rephrasing what my kid says.
Got it.
Kristen does it better. She talks more about like body types and like bodies all being different, and that's okay. And sometimes that goes into a discussion in private of like, food choices and habits. Maybe.
Oh, there's a question. Yeah, I mean, for me, that would it would definitely elicit a first response of a chuckle. I know myself well enough, and I think I even kind of chuckled when you read the question. It would be the second response would probably be something like, hey, that's not really nice to say, like, especially in front of the person, like you might want to apologize to your uncle, like, but going into like the any further discussion would be like, everybody's entitled to their own life choices and their own lifestyle, and some people feel feel they want all the ham and pineapple on their pizza every single day, and they don't want to go to the gym, or they don't have time for it, or there's a million different reasons why people do what people do and people look the way people look. There's all different types, but yeah, that's an uncomfortable one for sure. It always is, like those kind of things, those kind of questions.
Blaze, where you at with this? You have a chance?
Yeah, someone's trying to get me to build a Lego tanker truck. Over the summer, we went to Cleveland for a wedding, and we were getting on the elevator, and this gentleman walks in the elevator, and Bryson looks at him and then looks at me and says as loud as he can, "Look, Dad, that guy looks really old." And so my reaction was, I think I knelt down, I said, "Hey, buddy, like," I think I said observations like that, I try to talk to him in a way that was like, when we have thoughts like that, it's that we can talk about them, but we shouldn't like point at people and like call them names or make comments like that. And so I think from like that perspective, I'm trying to think like what I would do with that dad, and like what I always would, the ideal situation would be to sit down with the uncle and him and be like, "Hey, like, why did you say that? How did that make you feel?" But then the uncle would also have to have the emotional intelligence to like take that feedback, which I doubt that that's the ideal situation. So I think my gut reaction would be like, I hear what you're saying, and let's talk about it later. Because I think I'd want to talk to the uncle first and then talk to him. But I mean, but I could also, I bet what probably happened was like, we don't comment on people like that, and then it was never talked about again.
Yeah.
I think what I'm hearing, this is a tough situation. I'm also hearing that it's like an extended conversation. I think for most, I think that's kind of all the answers. I know that for me, that was a better way to have put up the question. By the way, I don't know why I didn't think about that earlier. For me, I'm thinking I would rely heavily on the other person having, I think Blaze, what you just said here about, the wherewithal to handle the moment and to be able to kind of pass that on and know that maybe, I'll talk about it later with my kid. That's a lot of, if it's a stranger, then I don't really know. But I think where my message would go, because I'm thinking about my 7 to 9-year-old who would end up like not having any or just a very short attention span. So like if I start explaining something, they're not really going to get it. But I think I would move into 2 thoughts, and I would say something along the lines of like, everybody's made different. And so what you're seeing right now might be something that you are concerned about, but someone is seeing you and maybe thinking that, hey, that person's really small. Why are you small? I think I would kind of compare it that way really quickly and just kind of explain that like our expectation of someone being, either thin or heavy or whatever, that's who they are right now. But I would also go into the idea that, we don't want to say anything outwardly like that to somebody that they can't change in like 15 seconds. Isn't that kind of the line? It's like, don't tell someone something about themselves unless they can change it in like 15 to 30 seconds or something like that. So I would, and then, I think later I would go into a conversation about like, if there really is something that you wanted to say about someone, you can come and whisper it to me instead. If you're not really sure about it, but it's tough because you don't want to like stifle their, because it doesn't mean that. I feel like I'd want to stay somewhat curious and be like, the way you're like, are you saying fat in a bad way? Are you saying it in a negative way? Like, why are you saying it? I'd be really curious to understand, like, are you saying because you're concerned? Are you saying because you're just interested? Are you saying because you are making fun of somebody? And then I want to break that down. It's a good one. I don't think there's a right answer, obviously, but it's a good question, Billy. Thanks for sharing it.
Yeah, I think the curiosity point is good. Like I want my kids to stay curious. And a good question is, why do people have different body types? Why are people shaped differently? That's a great question. That can go into a million different conversations.
100%.
And I think it seems like we're all kind of on the same thread where it's like we ask them guiding questions or, we don't, that's not really how we talk about it in front of the people. Like we can talk about that in private and we can discuss it, but that's something maybe you don't call somebody to their face.
If it was in a store, I think I just kind of grab a snack and just start eating the snack. Be like, oh, look at the person and be like, what's your answer? What do you have for? I don't know. It's a tough one. All right, guys, we are at the top of the hour. I know that we're going to have to take on our Saturdays right now. I think there's a lot going on.
So excited.
Boys, thanks for showing up. Always good seeing you. Starts my day off well. I hope you guys find the best Lego to build.
Oh, thanks, man.
We have another kid. All right, guys. Want to say hi, Jungle?
Who's the other kid?
The other
you
kid.
say hi to Sloan. Say hi, Sloan.
That's Sloan.
It's slow.
That is Sloan.
Say have a good day.
Have a good day, Sloan.
You guys have a good day too.
Have
See
a
you
good
later.
day. Bye, guys.
Bye, you guys.
See you guys.